Hi everyone, Mike Evans and Casey Pine. G'day Casey.
Hello.
We're here to tell you this week that you'll be driving an electronic vehicle for your surveillance activities by 2026. See you in a second. Well, Casey, how are you this week?
Fantastic. Very, very good. Had a good week.
You've had a really busy week putting USIs through for the last time this year.
Yes, finally. It's totally not my favourite thing.
Nothing frustrating about it either. Hi, Renee. How you going?
Yes, hi, Renee.
Mike Evans and Casey Pine with this week's episode of Spy Curious, a very special one this week because the influence of electronic vehicles and surveillance, and we're going to concentrate a little bit on that in this program, following on from our surveillance vehicle presentation this morning as part of our Victorian Police Licensing Regulation Division compliance training of 24 live hours, which if you missed it, you can watch the replay on our social media up until tomorrow. Then it will be UNI students only after that. So people have a look at what Alex had to say over an hour and a half today. It was pretty good. Who's this? Casey, who's that guy?
George, I'm glad you've joined us.
Why are you glad George has joined us, Casey?
Well, I will play something right now and you will see. It is my great pleasure to highlight the Australian Security Academy's Alumni of the Week, George Castanis. For those of you who don't know George, he is a team leader of investigations at the Victorian Building Authority, where he manages a team of skilled investigators. He has extensive experience in enforcement of compliance with a strong skill set which includes leadership, management, construction, plumbing, and of course, investigations. George is also a member of the Academy of Investigation, Risk and Loss Adjusting Professionals, or as we affectionately name our association, AIRLAP. And of course, on display on George's LinkedIn are his Australian Security Academy qualifications, his Certificate 3 in Investigative Services, as well as his Diploma in Government Investigations. We are always so happy and proud of the different industries our students end up in. We enjoy watching your success, George. Thank you so much for being our Alumni of the Week.
How good is that? What did George win for that, Casey?
I believe he won a hat, if we have any left.
Oh, I think might be all out of hats. we might be able to get George a bottle opener for that.
Bottle opener.
Yeah. So, yeah, well done, George. Casey will send you a copy of that, George. I'm sure everybody at the VBA is going to be watching that in team meetings next week, so they know that they've got a true professional in their team leadership position. They have. Good on you, George. And look, even our Executive Vice President of AIRLAP's proud of you, mate. So big salute to George this week for being great fun all the way through Spy Curious from the beginning. And he really encouraged us to keep going with this. So we never knew if it would fly or not. But it's been great fun. Anyway, people, so look, honestly, by the year 2026, you are going to be driving an electronic surveillance vehicle. Now, how weird is that? You're going to need a really long extension cord. No, you're not. So it's going to be so common that you will be doing it. It'll be affordable, and you'll be helping our planet by having solar electricity on your rooftop and charging your vehicle from home. So let's have a look at a little bit of history, a little bit about a Tesla Model X, just so you can sort of see how it works. And electronic vehicles like we're talking about here, they have been around, since 1980. Now, George is going to remember this, and there's probably one other person that watches Spy Curious that's going to remember this as well. Hope you enjoy it, Matt. Hope you enjoy it, George. Electric surveillance vehicles have been around for some 40 years. Here's Peter Werrett showing this concept one designed by the Adelaide University in 1980.
This is an electric van, a Bedford, current model. Part of an experimental division unit of Flinders University in South Australia, which has been operating since 1973. It is, in fact, highly efficient. It is so simple to drive, and yet it does the job extremely well. And there's been...
Okay, the good thing about the Tesla surveillance vehicle is it does have seasonal indicators and seasonal screen on the dash. So the Tesla surveillance vehicle, when you indicate at Christmas time, you get the Christmas indicator music to go with it. Now that is really cool. Yes, this electronic vehicle's steering's really good. The brakes are excellent. The ride's very smooth, and the vehicle doesn't have an engine. This is probably the coolest feature. Could I have a double decaf latte, please, with 2 sugars? Shaken, not stirred. Isn't that a brilliant surveillance vehicle feature? But wait, there is actually more. I'll get a chocolate biscuit with that latte too, please. Have a look at this. One of the handy features of the Tesla X is that it tells you, without having to actually check on the dash, what your tyre pressure is. There we go, with 41 psi on all 4 tyres. Hasn't got the spare, I might write to Tesla about that. The good thing about the Tesla Model X's dash is that it comfortably seats 2 coffee mugs if you need to have a cup of coffee, especially in Melbourne where it's freezing cold all the time. They will fit on your dashboard very comfortably while you're on surveillance. So there you have it. The Tesla Model X, the electric surveillance vehicle that we found out today. They've been in Australia for 40 years, nothing new. So by the year 2026, everybody who does surveillance will be driving an electric surveillance vehicle. Otherwise, they're just going to be too obvious with their old liquid fuel vehicles. Everybody will notice that that's strange and odd. What do we say about the Tesla Model X electric surveillance vehicle? Is it as good as they say it is? Does it live up to its reputation? Does it do the 500 kilometres without recharging? Well, is it a dud or is it a surveillance vehicle? Well, it is.
Good night. See you next week.
Classic piece of Australian motoring history. Rest in peace, Peter Werrett. You are someone I look forward to seeing every week. And I thought, how old does someone look in that stupid cap? Poor old Peter. Good on you, mate. You used to drive some classic Australian cars when they were brand new. Your review of the HJ Holden. Okay, Casey, you've driven the Tesla Model X surveillance vehicle, haven't you?
I sure have. It's a fantastic surveillance vehicle and an even better getaway car. I think it's very fast.
Did you worry about running out of electricity in it or anything like that?
No, I took it on surveillance once up to Brisbane City, and there's plenty of charging points there. So if I felt like I was going to get low, it wasn't going to happen. But you can just zip in and out of that city traffic without any bother. It's really good.
And it's really fast when you need it to be?
Oh, so fast. It's just a pleasure the way it picks up, because it doesn't have an engine with pistons that have to slowly have fuel injected into them. It just straight away takes off. It's fantastic.
Now, for an extra $7,000 with that vehicle, you can download just into your vehicle's computer ludicrous mode. So ludicrous mode means it'll go even faster than it does now. So I'll show you what happened when I yeah, that's right, George. When I tested ludicrous mode while I was doing that road test. Hang on, I'll bring it up. Model X comes with ludicrous mode, so that means it goes faster on demand and the cops will never ever catch it, which is a really... $750 for a speeding fine 15 k's over. Oh, I can use Afterpay. Hey, great. Yeah, it was just revenue raising, that's all it was. I really hadn't got any speed up at all at that stage. In Victoria, the Victorian police have Teslas. And boy, they have ludicrous mode. So that cop that gave me the lecture for 20 minutes, he didn't have ludicrous mode, he just didn't have a sense of humour. Anyway, $750. God, that's a very expensive road test. So, we recommend it. They're getting less expensive all the time. Government incentives are coming in. You don't have to get an expensive Tesla one. You'll be able to have a choice of a whole range of electronic vehicles. Don't fear them, adopt them. They are great. They're getting better all the time. This one, it does have a 500 kilometre range before you charge it. You drop into a fast charge station, go into the station's cafe and have a cup of coffee. In 40 minutes, it's recharged completely from empty to full again. You've got another 500 kilometres after that. So those charging stations are all around the country. And at this stage, with the Tesla ones, they're free if you buy the Tesla. I'm still waiting for the bloody Prados. Thanks for the reminder, James. I cry myself to sleep every night over those Prados, which are supposed to be here in mid-January, and I can pick them up in late January after 2 weeks of setting up, which is great. So I told people in our program this morning about surveillance vehicles. I ordered 2 Prados. I'll give you a bit of a view. They're for surveillance, and this is what they look like. Ordered those on the 28th of May. I think in the video I said last year, it was this year. Ordered those on 28th of May. They were supposed to be delivered to me on the 1st of September, but they're now arriving on the 15th of January, and it's due to COVID-19 and the fact they can't get the little chips for the electronics of the vehicle, which is a rather important thing today. So anybody that wants to know if they're being followed by a licensed private investigator, and there's 2 of those, yes, you're being followed by me. I'm fighting them both at once. Also, with the Tesla one, that does have driverless mode. You get that for a year with it when you buy it. So you can sit in the passenger seat and it will take you to where you want to go, which is quite, I've done it and it's quite a scary experience.
Just got to let go.
Yeah, I was in the driver's seat. I wasn't letting go. I don't let go. I like to hold on. So we had a lot of fun with that this week. It was $750 worth of fun. Revenue raising Queensland. Did I say they were revenue raising? I sort of mentioned that. Innocent drivers testing cars. Casey, so you're going to look at some marketing tips for us today. What do you got?
I sure am. So I just wanted to talk about 3 tips for investigators who are looking at essentially creating their own business and creating their own personal brand, getting out there, getting future employers or clients to trust you. It's really important, and everybody's online. So I thought I would talk about, these 3 tips that will just help you, give you some direction, and hopefully just take some of the fear out of it. And my first tip is to invest in a website. So your online presence matters. Everybody's online. If you don't have a website online, people question whether you're even in business or not. And I always say start out basic. You can just have a really affordable website that you can create in Squarespace yourself. You don't need to go and create a $5,000 website straight away and invest that amount of money. If you don't have that amount of money, if you're not making that amount of money in your business, just start basic. There is no issue with starting from where you are. And what you say on your website is important. So detail what you do, say what services you do a little bit of a story with about you. And so make sure you say who you are, which is really important, because we're trying to essentially get you out there. And if people don't want nameless, faceless corporations anymore. They want you. They want to know who you are. They don't want to know who necessarily your branding is. They just want to see you, and they want to be able to trust you. And don't sweat on it. So don't think that everything has to be perfect straight away. That's really, really important, especially for the perfectionists out there like me who want to dive straight into that $5,000 website and that $4,000 logo and that $6,000 worth of copywriting. Don't do it, because when you just start out, everything's going to change. It's going to change slowly over time, and your branding needs to grow with your business. So don't worry too much about it, okay? You can create a logo yourself on something called canva.com. If you don't know what canva.com is, go there, not now, after Spy Curious, and check it out. It is a fantastic resource. It's actually an Australian unicorn, so it's $1 billion company, and it can really help you create your own logo, your social media posts. There's really no end to what Canva is creating at the moment, which is just fantastic. And keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. It's really important that people go to your website and go, oh, that's a private investigator or a loss adjuster or someone in compliance or risk management, and people need to know straight away what it is. So don't overcomplicate it. Just have your about tab and your services, your contact, a link to your social media. That's all you need to begin with. So just to recap, don't overthink it. Start basic, start from where you are. What you say is important, so try and keep it simple but to the point, okay? That's really, really important. Simple but to the point. And make sure you get it done, because that's really important. Don't freak out about it. Just do it. The next tip is online networking. So online networking is a must, especially in these times where everything's moving online. We're dealing with a pandemic. Going to networking events, going to our association meetings, a lot of them are just online now. So make sure you learn how to network online. A great way to do this is to make a list of the type of people you'd like to connect with. So whether that be private investigators or loss adjusters, people in government investigations, and go and have a look at their profiles on LinkedIn and Twitter and different groups and forums around the internet and connect with them. And when people connect with you, make sure you say hi. Don't just leave the connection there, because that's not a connection then. Say, thank you so much for accepting my connection request. I really appreciate it. I enjoy what you put out on LinkedIn, and I look forward to following you further. That's all you have to say. And when you've connected with people, make sure you connect with people before you ever need them. A lot of people connect with people on platforms such as LinkedIn as they need them. It's really important that you don't do that, because if a stranger came up to you in the street and said, hey, can I have this? Hey, can you do this for me? Oh, could you introduce me to that person that you're standing next to? You would take it as a personal affront. It is just as much an affront online as it is in real life. So every etiquette that is online, if you're doing it correctly, applies to real life. So don't ever do something to someone that you would do in real life. Sorry, that you wouldn't do in real life. Just like you wouldn't walk up to someone and say that they need to lose some pounds or whatever trolls say on the internet. Like, that is disgraceful behavior, and it's just across the board. Don't do anything, and don't treat people the way that you wouldn't treat them face to face. So that's really important when it comes to online networking. And remember, everyone is human. So I've connected with some amazing people in really high places, and I've always been nervous to do so. But they are human, and they would like to network and connect. They're on LinkedIn, for example, and Twitter to network just like you are. And if you remember that everyone's human, it's worth just sending a connection. You might be declined, which is fine. You might send the hello, thank you for connecting, and not here. People are human. People are busy. Don't ever take it as a personal affront. It's just the way it is, okay? And my third tip is video is king. So last year, I spent a ridiculous amount of money going to San Diego to a marketing event. And I've been to marketing events all around Australia for the last 6 years. And there wasn't really any on because we were kind of moving into the pandemic. So I thought I'd go to San Diego and go to this big one. And they say the same thing each year. Video is king. Get in front of the camera. I've been asking Mike to do this for so many years now, and finally he's done it with Spy Curious. And Mike, I'm sure he can testify to the fact that it definitely helps him. It's helped his business, and it will help yours. And I can assure you, no one wants to get in front of the camera. I do not want to be in front of the camera. I don't like the way I look on camera. I'm sure Mike doesn't like the way he looks on camera. A lot of people aren't a big fan of seeing themselves on camera. You have to put that aside, because people want to see you. It doesn't matter what you think you look like. People really want to see you. So it doesn't have to be fancy. You can just use your phone to create video. And a really good tip is on your website, create a video, just even using your phone, saying, hello, my name is, welcome to my website. Thank you for coming and having a look. This is how you can contact me. Just above me is my services tab. So have a look at how I can help you, and feel free to contact me anytime. And just that little personal touch makes a world of difference. And even just post some video of you to social media platforms, because it humanizes you. It really helps get your face out there. You're not just the little profile picture that people are seeing. They go, oh, that's what she looks like or he looks like, and oh, that's what his voice sounds like. That's interesting. It really humanizes you and gives you that extra element extra dimension on platforms such as LinkedIn or Twitter that you didn't have before. And the secret sauce, people have been asking me this for years, and the secret sauce is you. It's what you have to bring in whatever industry that you're in. It's what you have to say. It's the way you present. It's what you stand for. So the secret sauce is always, always you. And just start. You'll find your voice. You will slowly get better and better and better. And you'll see old videos of you and go, oh, look at me. I don't know what I'm doing. And then you just even a month into doing videos, you will be able to see your growth, and the way that you present just gets better and better. So you always start here. And when you're starting at the bottom, the only way is up. So get started on your video. And those are my 3 tips. I'll let you muted, Mike.
Everybody loved it, Casey. You got some great comments.
Oh, I can't. I've got my light in the way. I can't see them. I have
That's
to
what, you have to watch the replay like everybody else has to. Okay, if I go and join LinkedIn and connect with 6 people, should I expect instant results?
No, not at all. Just like any relationship, you have to put the effort in. You have to start off with a hello, a how are you, a compliment. I really enjoy what you're doing. Engage with the stuff that they're liking on or posting on LinkedIn. It's all to do with relationships.
Okay, and it builds over time, and that connection builds over time. And
yeah,
look, it doesn't matter what business you're in. We're in the investigation answers business, and you are too, right? It can be adjusted, and Casey was playing around with it this week. Let's have a look what she did. Now, in the comment section, people, just make a comment with what Casey's one that I'm about to play. Do you love it, or we're going to leave it?
Let's go.
One more time. I don't think I can I? Oh, yeah, I can.
Let's go.
So it doesn't matter what you do, if you can be a little bit creative about it. That's the key to any form of marketing, is standing out from your competition and being a little bit creative. You don't have to, I mean, some people are stylish and they wear bow ties and suspenders, and everybody naturally buys their stuff as a result of that. I get that. That's understandable. We're getting spammed by YouTube porn sites. This one. Yeah. All day.
Sorry,
do not click on that. Thanks, James. Thanks, Renee. Look, YouTube, you know you're successful on YouTube when you're doing it, because we're hitting 12 porn site spams every video now. Oh God. And they're all reported to YouTube. There's another one already.
Don't click on them.
We know you're there. They're robots, they don't understand. So you really will get an idea if you do live stuff. When the porn site starts spamming you and you live, you know you'll have some success. LinkedIn is a very good business to business. I use it quite a bit, and it works really well. You just got to remind people that you're there and be visible. And a little short video introducing yourself. I'm going to make all AirLap members start making personal brand videos next year. They're not going to like it, right? But they have to do it because it's going to help them pay for their electronic vehicle in 2026 for surveillance. But if they don't do it and they don't stand out from everybody else who just does the old post version that nobody sees, branding, personal branding is what it's all about. Casey said that's what connects with people. And it does. That is what connects. We're not all instantly, movie star watchability, but with working at it over time, it really helps to grow your business. So people, I've got to show you some job vacancies, because that's what we come here for. So all these jobs are available on our Australian Private Investigator Corporate and Government Investigation website. They're jobs that this week's jobs, so I'll just go through them quite quickly. E-commerce fraud and risk manager for Harvey Norman. So if you've got a retail background and you're into your fraud, Harvey Norman have a really high-paying job there. That's on our Facebook website. A licensed surveillance investigator for MJM down in Adelaide, and they're looking for one in New South Wales too. So their contact details are in these ads if you watch the full ad on our Facebook page. Circumstance investigator. This one's still available now. This isn't with an investigator. It's an investigation agency run by one investigator. So he's got work similar to the VBA. If you want to get in touch with me, and I'll put you in touch with him. Kerrigan's are looking for factual and surveillance investigators in Melbourne and rural Victoria. All these are on our Facebook page. This one's if you've got a diploma of government investigation, this is where you want to be, the Director of Surveillance for the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation. I'm sure they've got some electronic surveillance vehicles there somewhere. This is a beauty, Deputy Ombudsman for Monitoring Review in Sydney. That would be extremely high paying if you jump on our Facebook page and look at that one. Again, that's a government one. This is a great corporate one. And you won't need a private investigator's licence for this because you'll be doing investigations on behalf of Qantas. So this is a corporate investigation role, but you would require for this job, they'd want to see a diploma of government investigations at least, because everything's about compliance, because it's airline safety. And with, you know, planes that have 180 people on them, they take it very seriously. Environmental Protection Officer for the EPA down in Victoria, where almost all of them are Australian Security Academy graduates. This is a big compliance officer down in Hobart for the Department of State Growth. We advertised 15 jobs in Hobart, 15 jobs in Launceston and 8 jobs in Devonport in Tasmania for compliance officers about 4 weeks ago. No one applied for them, not a single person. So I found that to be absolutely incredible. Oh, thanks, George. So, you know, down in Tassie, that's really weird. But I think it was front line meeting people at the airport and at the boat. So it was about checking people for their vaccinations and stuff like that. That may have scared people off, I don't know. But that's a really good job there in Hobart with the Department of State Growth. This is a beauty. Australian Ghost Investigators. Now, you won't find this on our Facebook page. This is over on the Australian Investigators page. It's not paying, so it's a volunteer role. So what they want is they want paranormal trainee investigator and an experienced psychic medium. Now, this is a Facebook group where I put this up that I have, and I just put some random jobs up there like this one. Now, this is a legitimate job. They're not going to pay you, but it's a job if you're into ghosts and that sort of thing. And people started commenting on it. What qualifications do you need for that? And I didn't know that job exists, and wow, and all this sort of thing. This is the, no, it's not. The lady in the red cardigan on the bottom right is at the AISP meeting in Victoria. She is a licensed private investigator, a professionally qualified nurse, and she's psychic. She can take one look at you without a deck of cards in her hand and read you like a book. So there are private investigators who are licensed out there that are psychic. So when you see things like, I don't know where I put it. Yeah, when you see, yeah, there it is. When you see things like this, they're quite serious about it. And the guy that runs it, he comments on lots of different investigation. Never comments on any of mine, and I'm not banning him or anything like that. But he does comment prolifically around investigation sites around the world. But he's serious about what he does. He must have some clients somewhere that have a need for what he does. And look, there are people that just have a gift. Now, you shouldn't find that sort of weird or strange, but look, I have it myself. I really do. I just have that psychic gift. It's just incredible. Look, I'm connecting with that lady watching now. You know who you are. Yeah. There is going to be someone coming into your life who is absolutely obsessed with you. How good is that? Now, he's a dog, but that doesn't matter. Okay, all right. I've still forecast it. So please, people, understand there are psychics out there just like me and Elizabeth Wild. My good friend at the AISP, Elizabeth Wild. Hope she's there somewhere. There she is in her red cardigan. look forward to catching up with Liz at one of the meetings in the future in Victoria now that the borders have opened up. So that's our jobs for this week. Did we have anything else we had to do, Casey?
No, I think we've done pretty well.
I think we've done pretty well. We next AirLap meeting will be coming up in, I think, around about the 7th of January. I'll have to check that date and confirm that next week. We've still got 2 more Spy Curious to run for this year. But with AirLap, we'll be following through on some of those further suggestions that we had. We've had more suggestions come through since we originally asked for them. And people, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just very busy trying to get Toyota that you send me some cars so I can do surveillance. So that's it for this week, people. Thanks very much for the marketing tips, Casey. They were great. We're going to go out in our usual way.
작전 종료. 전원 복귀할 것.
Yes, that's how we finish the week in every investigation agency in Australia. If you missed any of those jobs or you want to see a whole lot more of them, jump on the Australian Security Private, Government and Corporate Investigations Facebook page. I only put up 35% of the jobs, but you'll see some really good jobs there. I leave up the old ones, not to indicate they're still available, but so you can do your research. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your participation today, people. Thanks for coming in, Casey. We'll see you all again next week. Goodbye.
See you next week.